my goodness. Good morning, good afternoon, happy Friday, everybody. It's Linda, and this is
Carl.
And we are ColorWorks Designs. We're coming to you from beautiful Palm Desert, California. Of course, it's going to be very, very hot today. It's 108 degrees here. Today is Friday, June 4th, and guess what? We're back. Today is... Hello! Yay! 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 I just looked at Facebook, and I guess the closed captioning is looking kind of garbly-gooked below me. If anybody's got closed captioning on, that's not us doing that. That's Facebook doing that. So I'm not sure what's going on with closed captioning there. But so welcome in, everybody. It's great to be back. We've been back after a 3-week absence here. We've been super busy. It's episode number 40 of the Fab Friday broadcast. And, you know, we started these Fab Friday broadcasts about a year ago. It's been about over a year, a month ago when the pandemic started. And I'm sorry to say that we're going to cut back these to once a month at this point. Our schedule has just gotten super busy. We're trying to get a lot of stuff accomplished and designing. We're actually traveling, like most of you guys are back on the road. And so Fab Friday is now going to become a once-a-month affair.
But it will be glorious.
But it will be a glorious, yes, once-a-month affair. So today, we want you to like and share this video. Please share this with all your family, friends, and pets. Make sure you sign up for our ColorWorks YouTube channel so you get a ping or a ding whenever we put new stuff up there. And let's see who's checking in from where. I see we've got lots of comments. Pat, hello. My good friend Pat from Pinehurst, North Carolina. How are you? The sun is out, she says. And Rachel, hello. You're calling in from Alabama, I see. And Trudy from beautiful Naples. Hello, Trudy. We were down visiting you, I think, a week ago?
A week ago.
We Zoomed to Naples, Quilters Guild. And Suzanne is checking in from France, I believe. Teddy, hello from Ventura. Yay, Teddy. And Barbara, you guys are also nice to check back in with us, especially after such a long absence away. It's so nice to know that you actually check in with us and we're remembered, I guess I should say. So, hello, Mary. I'm just going to go down the line. Nedra, Mary, Sandra, Peg. Hello, Peg, from Iowa. How nice. And Barbara again. What is it, Barbara? Well, at least you got through yes, we all got through the pandemic. So, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's tutorial. I'll just give you a sneak peek. It's the little firecracker applique we're going to talk about. And we actually thought this would be fun to do as a tutorial today because 1, 4th of July is coming in a month, and 2, the pandemic is ending. So it's a kind of a celebratory time, at least here in the United States, to actually, and around the world, I guess, to actually celebrate the fact that we are coming out of the COVID mess and we are now getting ready for 4th of July. So we thought it would be fun to do some kind of celebratory firecracker applique thing for you guys. But before we move on to that, let's talk about the ColorWorks gift card winner from 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago when we were on the air, we did our travel log of the Central California coast when we went up to Cambria and took a little break, and we went up and visited where Kay Fawcett grew up in his family home and restaurant, which is called Nepenthe up in Big Sur, California. So if you want to see some of that, check out episode 39 on the ColorWorks YouTube channel to find the travel log of the California Central Coast, which was last time we were on the air.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. And we asked the question, where will you be traveling to as we open up the country here and things? So the winner of the $10 ColorWorks gift card, because everybody got put into the random thingamajizer, and the winner is... Margot, congratulations. So we will get in touch with you to get your email address to send you a $10 ColorWorks gift card. And of course, stay tuned, everybody, because we want you to comment here, and we'll pick a gift card winner now every month that we come back on the air. So again, we'll be back on July 2nd for our next Fab Friday. So let's talk about some news. So,
want to check the weather?
Well, what? Oh, the cactus cam. That's right. Yeah. There's the weather.
I ran outside very quickly to put that up.
It's a beautiful day here in the desert, as you can see, but nobody is golfing.
Not even the ducks.
Not even the ducks are out right now. It's going up to 108. So my goodness, it's going to be hot, 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 hot. So we're going to be staying in and catching up on things.
Talking of hot, okay. Hot.
What?
The next item.
Yeah, well, kind of. You know, this is the next item that we're going to talk about is some news, and we have been working on this for almost 18 months. So this has been a project that we've been working with Missouri Star Quilt Company now for 18 months. It started about then. And it's a block of the month program that we designed for them that they just released, and you can sign up at Missouri Star Quilt Company. So the pattern that we're going to show you and the program is not available through us. It's actually only available at Missouri Star Quilt Company through their website. But if we go to the first board, Carl will show you, look what Carl designed. So this is a block of the month program. It's 8 months long. It's not hard at all. It's all half square triangles. Yeah, well, you made some of them, and I made most of them.
But I had to test them.
But anyway, it's not a hard program. It's 8 months long. Missouri Star Quilt Company is, you know, each month it's just like a block of the month. You'll get the pattern, you'll get the fabrics for that month's blocks. Each month is 2 to 3 blocks you'll be making. Usually it's the same block, a smaller one, a larger one, and then a smaller companion block. And so this is available through Missouri Star Quilt Company. We can go to the next slide and you'll see it's called Starlight. So you know, there are some tutorials, which is what I've been doing, which is why we've been kind of silent the last 3 weeks, because I've been madly taping some tips and tricks for this and some tutorials. I'm still filming. Yeah, I'm not sure. Missouri Star Quilt Company might be putting out some other tutorials for it, but you need to sign up at Missouri Star Quilt Company for this. And I'll show you some test blocks here. These made it in, but I just want you to see how beautiful they are in person. So this is one of the blocks for one of the months, one of the Carpenter Star blocks, and there's a smaller companion block in that month that goes with this one.
I just want to say,
what?
I did design this, but Linda made all these things look beautiful.
So there's another one.
I couldn't have sewn them as good as Linda did.
And it's also Kay Fawcett fabric. So this is another month where you do 2 of these little star blocks and then a larger one. So you can see they're not too hard, the blocks. And it's evenly paced. So this is one of the months here. Spools. This is the first month. You're doing 3 like this in different variations of fabric. It's that beautiful Kay Fawcett fabric. Here's another block. These were the test versions of all my blocks. So there you go. Another star block.
Sizes.
Yeah. And then here we go. This is the big superstar block.
The rock star.
The rock star of the quilt. Should I back up a little bit? The rock star of the quilt. It's a 24-inch by 24-inch center block that goes in the middle of the block of the month. This is in month 3, along with a couple other blocks. So it's an 8-month block of the month. So even though this is month 3 is like the heaviest burden, if I can put it that way. So to keep up with the program, we put the heavy burden block like that in month 3 so that you would have plenty of time to catch up through months 4, 5, 6, and 7 before you put it all together in month 8. But that was totally designed by Carl. And we
both did it.
Yeah, but you did most of the design.
You did the borders
and then I did all the pattern helping. But Missouri Star Quilt Company, you have to sign up on their website. It's called Starlight, and it just released the other day up on their website. It's on the front page. So we're very proud to have that released. Finally, we can talk about some super secret sewing. It's not often that we get to do that sometimes because companies hold us to super secrets.
Takes about 2 years.
Yeah, I know. And then we're bored with it and we forget to talk about these things. Okay, let's go on with the tutorial, shall we? Any comments on that? Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody goes, beautiful, love it. Yay, you guys are so nice. Look at that. And I think Lena, what did Lena say? Listening will watch later, instrument issues at work. Lena, I think, signed up for the block of the month. So we thank her very much for that. But yeah, sign up at Missouri Star Quilt Company. So let's move on to this quickly. And we'll go over to the overhead. And then I'm going to show you some applique tips and tricks with this as well on a little video. So we'll go to the overhead first. So there it is. So when you go to the download PDF little link that's under the description of this video. And so if you look either above me or below me on this particular video we're watching right now, it should say firecracker download pattern or something like that. And if you click that link, you'll be taken to a file that has this page only. And so basically we made it, that's what you're getting, is basically the pattern shape there. The directions are whatever you want to make it to be. So we're going to go through how I did this version, and you might want to do something different with this. So this particular one that you're looking at here is a placemat size. I haven't bound it yet. But basically what I did is I just took a piece of fabric 13 by 17 or fat quarter. I quilted it first with these straight lines. I just thought, okay, wonky straight lines. And then I stuck my applique shapes on it. And I'm going to teach you how to do this first in a minute. And then in the video, I'll go through how to put this sparkler little thing on here at the top. So basically with placemats, they're 13 by 17 inches usually, unless you're doing a Hungry Man placemat, and that's usually 14 by 18. And you can make up whatever size you want. You can put the firecracker off to the left like this. You can put them in the middle. You can put them to the right. I just happen to like motifs on placemats to the left. So you can set the table with a plate here. You can do just a singular block like this one, and just, you know, bind it and put a hanger on it, and hang it in the hall or entryway or outside. Kind of like, we just wanted to give you this pattern so that you guys could make a pillow, placemats, whatever you want to make from it. So let's talk about, let me set myself up here, how you go about making this wonky piece that's right here. It's super simple. Now, for machine applique, if you're familiar with that, remember you trace all your shapes out on the fusible adhesive web machine applique. You wouldn't trace this sparkler shape out because that's something you're going to do with your machine, which I'll show you in a minute. Or you can do it by hand and do like a hand, you know, stitched straight stitch with some embroidery floss. To make it wonky like this, now I'm going to show you what to do, but you could cut this out of one fabric if you wanted to. You don't have to use stripped fabrics like I did. But basically, to make it like this, you're just going to take an assortment of, let's say, blue and red strips here. Now, you don't have to use a blue and red. You can use whatever colors you want. These are basically cut at 2.5 inches by 5 inches. They can be cut at 1 inch by 5 inches. They could be cut at 2 inches by 6 inches. They could be cut at 3 inches by 5 inches. They could be scraps. It's whatever you want. You're going to need about 5 of them to make how tall the firecracker is. And the way you start this, it's just, if you've ever done a Mod Dog, a Mini Mod Dog, a Mod Cat, a Cosmos block, it's the wonky piecing. So you're going to take your first strip down here. Everybody can see that, I hope. And here, let me do this. You're going to take your first strip. There, you can see it now. And you're going to take your second strip, and you're just going to audition the wonky angle. So you're going to place, I've got this placed from upper left to lower right, maybe mid-center right. You could start with it going upper right to mid-center left. It doesn't matter. Just place it on there, right sides together. And of course, you're using batiks. There's no right or wrong side. And you're going to sew right across that red strip, your best 1/4 inch seam or a straight seam. And when you get that done, it'll look like that when you've sewn it. Can you see? Okay, I've got the stitching line right there. And you would cut away the blue fabric up here because you want to reduce the bulk. Iron the red strip upwards and it'll look really strange. And the next thing to do is add your blue strip. So again, place your blue strip on and audition the angle. You want the angle to go the opposite direction this one is. So see how this is veering towards the right? Make this strip veer towards the left or angle towards the left. Then flip it right sides together, sew across the top blue strip, cut away the excess red fabric, iron it up, and you'll start to get this wonky kind of strip that goes on. Once you grow your wonky strips about 5 strips high, which is what this is, you know, you can test it against the shape here and make sure you've got it tall enough for the shape. You would then iron on the back side the fusible web shape of your firecracker. And you can see that I've cut out, if I get it up there, can you see that? The light is shining on it. I've rough cut this out. So I haven't cut it out on the line. What I've done is cut it out rough cut 1/4 inch beyond the line. And so what I can do now is, excuse me while I reach, and I can cut this out. I usually like to use a ruler on the straightaways. So I'll just run my ruler up the straightaways, cut this shape out.
Sometimes you use a bigger ruler, don't you?
Yes, well, this was the only ruler I could grab that was in close proximity to where I was working. And then, use your best applique sharp to the point scissors to cut this shape out along the dotted line, along the lines you drew, which is, you want to take your time here. And you get your firecracker shape.
Lovely.
Isn't that great? Now, for the top, I just want to give you a tip on it. If I bring this up to the camera, can you see that I wrote top? Can you see I wrote top on the top there? So what that means, what I did, so you know, is you'll see this dotted line on the pattern right here. So when I traced my shape for the top of the firecracker, I included the rounded edge right here, plus down, and included the dotted line. And the dotted line indicates that this, and that's why I wrote top, because I want to remember that this is the top of this shape. Once I cut this out, the dotted line, extra dotted line that's there, will give me enough fabric on the applique shape to tuck under the actual firecracker itself. So if I put that in place on the pattern just like that, and then I put this over, can you see I'm putting the firecracker over the top? So that's what you need to do with that. That's what the dotted line indicates whenever you see that. That means just keep that dotted line with the shape that tucks under another shape. So in this instance, the top of the firecracker is tucked underneath or overlapped by the actual firecracker itself. And then of course you have stars, and you can cut as many stars as you would like. I cut 2, but if you wanted to cut 3 or 4 per block, you could do that. These are just fun little whimsical primitive stars, and so you can just, dot them around your block if you want to. You can add more if you'd like, or just keep to the 2. Now I'm going to run a little video for you that will show you some tips and tricks on appliquing this and getting started, as well as doing these stars and the points, as well as how I did this sparkler. So we'll go with the video. So just a quick lesson in applique. Again, it's machine applique here. So I've got 40 weight thread in the top of my machine, and I've got gray in the bobbin at this point. And the first thing that we're going to do is applique stitch around the top edge of this top of the candle, because I'm using yellow thread. So I just want to applique stitch right across this edge here. And of course, to begin applique stitching, I'm going to take just 1 stitch in place first. So I'm just going to drop my needle at my starting point, just like so, and pull up on it. And I'm rotating my hand wheel, or you can drop your needle down and bring it back up by pushing a button. And then I just pulled up my bobbin thread there. So you can see I've got yellow and gray thread. And I'm going to put those under my presser foot there and drop the needle back down in the same hole I came up in. And I'm going to use the secure stitch function on my Bernina here, which is, it's going to take 3 stitches in place and then start to do the zigzag. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then it should start to zigzag. And you can see I'm zigging and zagging right to the edge of that top of the candle. Once I finish this, I'm going to hit my cutting thread function, which will take 3 stitches in place again, and it will cut the thread. I'll then switch threads and do all the way around the firecracker. So I would start here and go all the way around the bottom, come up the other side, and come across the top and finish here. So the other thing I wanted to show you, and the star is a perfect shape to show you this, is how to maneuver around inside points here, inside curves or points, and how to come around these points here when you applique stitch. So I've already secured my thread. I'm started. I did a few zigzags on this straightaway of the star. I'm coming down to this inside point here. And as you can see, what I'm going to do is stop with my needle down on the outside of the inside of the point. So you can see where I've stopped with my needle down right there. I'm going to zoom in just a bit so you can see it right there. And I've stopped on the inside of that point. Let me just adjust. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is actually take a couple stitches to turn that corner. And so the theory is that if it's an inside curve, which these little stars are right here, inside curves, you're going to stop on the inside of the applique. So I've stopped now on the inside of the applique, and I'm going to lift my presser foot and pivot ever so slightly and take one stitch in and back out or in to the applique. Turn again, take one stitch out and then in, take another stitch out, in, and now I can come down the straightaway to this point. So I'm going to hit the presser foot, come straight down, stitch directly over the point of the star, just like that. Turn my presser foot, take one stitch, maybe two stitches that are perpendicular to the edge of the star. Turn to come down this straightaway right here, and I'm going to stitch right over that point. Here comes another inside curve. I'm going to stop on the inside edge of the applique, pivot ever so slightly, take one stitch out and one stitch in, pivot, one stitch out, one stitch in, and down the straightaway to the point, stitch directly over the point, turn my applique perpendicular to that needle, take one stitch, maybe two if I need to get on the other side of this, and then straighten myself out to come up the edge again and up and over the edge. Again, one more time with an inside point or inside curve, stop on the inside edge, turn, pivot, one stitch out, one stitch in, turn, pivot, one stitch out, one stitch in, turn, pivot, one stitch out, one stitch in, and headed down to the point. So to make the little sparkler fuse on the top of the firecracker, basically what I did is I drew with a Frixion pen kind of the line that I wanted to follow. And I've got my machine set for a super, super, super small, tiny little strange little zigzag that I found. Now you could do this with a straight stitch too, but you're going to drop your needle down at the start of this line. And again, you're going to want to bring up your bobbin thread to the top so that you don't end up with any thread nest there on the bottom of the applique. So there's my bobbin thread, the gray. I'm using a variegated red, white, and blue thread from Superior Thread. So you could use, you know, any thread color you wanted. You could do this by hand too. And you're going to want to secure stitch this again. And then you just take off, following that line as best you can. You don't have to like be totally exact. It's free form. And I know if I'm kind of off the line that I will actually iron my drawn line away, so it's okay. I find the faster I move the quilting sandwich, the easier it gets. And then when I get to the end down here, I just hit the cutting thread function and that secures the stitch. And so you can see I've got the start of my little firecracker fuse there. And of course, once I iron this, the purple line goes away. And I would do the same thing exactly here for these 6 lines that are coming out like the sparkler function there. Okay, so that was just some little tips and tricks. Let me move this down. So remember, this pattern is in the down. It should be a downloadable link or clickable link in the description of this video. So if you're watching us on Facebook, it's right above us. If you're watching us on YouTube, it's right below us, I believe. With that, we'll head back over. Now, wait, Carl actually took this pattern just to give you another idea of what you can do with it other than a pillow or a placemat or a little tiny wall hanging. And I love Teddy's point that they have some like a local senior center that they give placemats to, if you want to bring that comment up there, Carl, from Teddy, so other people can see it. And she says, oh, look, one of my guilds makes placemats for senior centers. This will make a great 4th of July design. Yes. So if you have somebody that you would like to make a placemat for, even one placemat is lovely for somebody that you have as a neighbor or something like that. But Carl decided to take this particular little design and he put it in, of course, electric quilt, and made up a mock little table runner with a sawtooth star and some flying geese units, so we can hit that and he can show you what he did. So there's just another idea. It's not, you know, it's colored in with solids, but that's just another idea of what you can do with this particular pattern. You could make, you know, a little table runner, and let's say you had some orphaned sawtooth stars or stars, you wanted to make some stars. You could do something like that, just to give you guys an idea of what to do with this celebratory firecracker pattern that we have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed that. Go forth and make celebratory placemats or pillows to celebrate whatever you'd like. So we would love to see pictures of your completed projects too. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yes, we can take questions.
Susan loves the noise.
Oh, that's just, you know what?
Fast stitching.
I did too. I liked it too. So when I edited the video together, when I fast forward the actual video and the noise of the sewing machine doing the zigzag, that's what it sounded like. I didn't put that noise in there. It just did that when I told it to run the video 8 times faster than normal. So there you go. But thanks, Susan. That's nice. Yes.
Trudy had a question.
Trudy, what number stitch is the tie-off stitch on your Bernina? I have a 145 and 640. They probably have that stitch. Well, it's not a tie-off stitch. It's actually the cutting thread function. It's the one with the scissors. And so when I hit that, all it does is do 3 stitches in place, and then it cuts the thread on the Bernina. So it's the one with the scissors. It's that button that actually cuts your thread. And that's the tie-off. And it ties off before it cuts the thread, basically. What's Pat say? Oh, listening to your star tutorial makes me think of the announcer at a horse race coming down to the horse track. Yeah, you know, it's funny because when I film these tutorials, I'm usually, you're by yourself at your machine.
Not even with me.
No, and Carl's not in the room. And I tend to get very introverted. Like, I feel like I'm talking too loud. So that's why it sounds like I'm here at my machine. You know, I guess I should be more animated, but, you know, whatever. But thank you, Pat. You know, and Teddy's a cool design, says Teddy.
Yeah, but the firecracker was yours. I just did the table running layout.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, but we do it together, Carl.
Yes.
You know. Let's see. Fun, love the table runner. Good job, Carl, from Barbara. There you go. See?
Well, I had the easy bit.
Yes. And what else? Let's see. Trudy says, darn, my machines don't have the scissors function. They don't? Well, you could actually do, if it doesn't have a cutting thread function, then what I would recommend doing is either taking 3 stitches in place, which means you have to reduce your stitch length so it doesn't go anywhere. It just takes 3 stitches in place. Or you can simply raise your needle when you're done. This is for Trudy. And leave long thread tails. And then unfortunately you have to take all that thread to the back side or the wrong side, tie a knot, and bury that thread. Or you can use a large amount of fray check if you wanted to. That sometimes works.
There we go.
So that's a way of securing things. And then Mary says, what does Mary Harlow say? Mary says, you guys are so funny. Well, that's a project of being married for, how long has it been? 32 years?
44,
45 years now.
I don't know.
Wow.
Look at this.
What else?
Susan's got a question. The knot.
The knot button on the Bernina. Yes. that is the secure stitch function. You're right. Actually, Susan, you are right. There is a knot button on Bernina's. It looks like it's got a circle and then it's got a tiny little dot in the middle of it. And that is the secure stitch function if you don't have the thread cutting function on your Bernina. So
is Teddy with a question?
Teddy says the star point stitching was very helpful. I don't know.
She didn't know.
You didn't. I don't know how to go across. I didn't know how to go across points. Sorry, I'm looking at your comment from an angle over here. Thank you, Teddy. Anybody else before we bug? Oh, Pauline, fun project. Love the zigzag for the fuse, plus the info on how to pivot. Yes, a lot of people don't know how to pivot around inside or outside corners. And of course, if you're doing an outside corner, whatever I did on that inside corner, you do exactly the opposite on an outside curve. So instead of stopping on the inside and pivoting on an outside curve, remember you stop on the outside and then you pivot. So if it's a circle, you're constantly stopping on the outside of the circle to pivot.
And I think you have a tutorial.
I do. Actually, up on the Colorworks YouTube channel, I think there is a tutorial on applique tips and techniques.
Yes.
So, well, you guys have been great fun today. We appreciate you all coming back after we've been gone for so long. We'll be back again July 2nd. The question of the week, of course, is what are your 4th of July plans? So we want to know what you're up to, really, because we don't have any plans and we need some ideas of what we're going to do with ourselves here other than working. So we want to know what everybody else is up to so we know what to do at this point. Okay. Oh, look, Liz is checking in. Liz says, pivoting was super helpful. Agree, makes total sense once you describe that. Thank you, Liz. Nice to see you here. And Barbara, very helpful resource. Is that right? Do I get that right? Very helpful resource for those points. Thank you very much. Yes, and be sure to share this with your friends. We want you to share our videos and all our help or tutorials with all your friends, family, and pets who might sew with you. And so, yes, did I put up the question of the week? What are your 4th of July plans?
We did, but we'll put it up again.
Make sure that you let us know so we can get some ideas here at the Colorworks Design House. It's going to be 110 degrees.
Well, what is it right now?
Right now it's 100. It's going to be 108.
Still nobody's out there.
No.
Still nobody's
Okay,
out there.
we're going to bug out for the weekend, but we want to leave you with this. So be sure to download this pattern. You can send it to all your friends. You can send the link to all your friends. We don't mind. It's up there for you guys to do whatever you want to do with it. We appreciate you checking in today. We would really love to see your pictures. Don't forget to go over to Missouri Star Quilt Company to sign up for the beautiful block of the month that just came out called Starlight. And Liz, who just checked in, works for Missouri Star Quilt Company, so I'm happy to see that she was checking in. But yes, please go over to the Missouri Star Quilt Company website and sign up for that block of the month. It is fun and easy to do, and it's a beautiful quilt when it gets done. So, and it's all Kaffe Fausset fabric. So if you're a Kaffe lover, you will love doing that quilt.
And if you're not, you will be.
Well, you might be, yes. You don't have to be a Kaffe lover.
No.
Yes. And of course, Liz says, yay, it's so beautiful. Well, thanks. No, it's beautiful because of your help, Liz. So she's our coordinator over at Missouri Star Quilt Company. So again, we're going to bug out of here. We'll see you July 2nd again, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Please keep safe and have fun out there. Safe travels to everybody. And we will see you again for another fabulous, fun episode of Fab Friday on July 2nd. I may check in with you live here and there between now and then, depending on what's going on in the sewing studio. But until then, happy Coloricious quilting, everybody. Have a great one.